No, like Hayden Christensen when he was
Oh,
Anakin
you mean
and he killed
Anakin?
all the sand people.
No, he's definitely probably gonna. it's a racist thing. Yoinks. Dude, they're fake race. What are you offended by?
Nothing. yes, Anakin is huge racist against sand people.
That's the title.
Anakin Skywalker is a racist?
Against sand people.
He's like,
BBP. Better Broadcast Podcast.
Welcome to the Better Broadcast Podcast.
Welcome back.
Episode 3.
With our good friend Luke, my friend, my coworker, my roommate,
technically boss.
my boss.
Thanks for having me.
I talked about, if any of you are watching this are from my ASMR channel, I've talked about Luke and the Band Junkies in general a lot, and we'll get into that a little bit. We're going to tell some stories from the Band Junkies, talk a little bit about just what it's about and what we do. But yeah, we're just going to have a cool conversation.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be interesting to talk about when how Luke and I met.
Oh, yeah, that's a good story.
That's a good story. I've told this story a bunch of times.
I'm really nervous. I'm camera shy.
Yeah. No, he's definitely... Well, here's a little bit about Luke. We work at a car dealership together. He's a salesman. And he's definitely not...
I used to be a manager.
He used to be a manager. Then he got demoted. Not really.
It's too good.
Well, you didn't like it as a manager, though, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, we'll do videos. Like recently, we did a Hyundai competition video where Luke is the...
Nobody else entered, right?
We're gonna win because no one else entered in the district.
No one in our area entered. But once we're going up against the California, dealerships when it goes to the national thing, I don't think I'm gonna win that one. But we put a lot of work into it. We did a really cool video for this Hyundai competition, and the videos we always do, Luke is always at the forefront of them. So. That's the joke about him being camera shy.
Yeah. And this one was really funny. It was the one where he was like, also, we have cars.
Yeah.
No, that was a different one.
Or was that a different one?
The
Okay.
competition one was like the only serious one we've ever done.
We've come up with many characters over the different videos. There's Bud, Ludwig.
Oh, hello, it's Ludwig.
We once got
the
called
most
racist for that one.
Yes.
Controversial.
We should do the Ludwig reads the comments.
Yeah, Ludwig reads hater comments. He's just super over the top. Yeah. So the story about how Luke and I met, it was whenever I graduated from high school, there was a couple instruments that weren't really getting used. There was a mandolin and a guitar, and I took it with me when I graduated, and I took it to a store in town here, and I got them fixed up to make sure they were good to go. And when I walked back to the parking garage, Luke was there, and he said, "You must be a musician." And yeah. And then he gave me his business card, and somehow I told him that I do videos. And the rest is history. We did our first video with your good friend Bill Ryan, Pennsylvania Grass, at Steve Trito's studio. And then, yeah, we just kept doing videos. Do you want to tell any funny stories from the course of our shoots? We've learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes, and we have some funny stories to tell.
Yeah, jump into a funny story would be when we got the lights. The lights.
So yeah, we just got the panel lights, and we had a shoot where they already had the audio taken care of. It was outside in broad daylight.
It was the brightest, nicest day of all of whatever month it was. And we just brought the lights and set them up, and it did absolutely nothing. It was just funny that we were so serious about setting up the lights when it had zero effect on how it looked.
Yeah, broad daylight. The high noon. The sun could not be any brighter. And we have these lights like 10 feet away from these people, like it's doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like these really not even that good panel lights. We're using them right now, but
they make good like fill lights in the background.
Yeah, they're not that bright.
They're not good. They're not good key lights. We used them for key lights for a while.
They're not bright enough to overpower the sun. Let's just say that. And then we had that really interesting story when do we want to say specific names? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? We're already out there.
Depends what story it is.
Well, it's a good story. It's Micah Porter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came and he had the song Best Friend. We didn't really know Micah, and he showed up and he played the song Best Friend. And he like the first couple takes we were like, yeah, that's pretty good. We were trying to like give him pointers. He had never really recorded a song before. And we tried to give him some pointers and stuff, and like just playing the guitar and letting the letting it ring out and stuff, and how like singing into the mic in a certain way. And all of a sudden, this last take, he just played it, and something happened. It was about his friend who had passed away, and something just happened whenever he played it on this last take. And at the end of it, there was like 5 of us sitting here. It was your friend TJ, you, me, and I don't know if you were there, Mason.
I don't think so.
I think, was there another person there, or was it just us 3?
Probably Elliot.
I don't think Elliot was there. Thank God. No, but yeah, by the end of it, all 3 of us in the room were just like bawling our eyes out. There's something magical happened on that take. That was a pretty interesting Band Junkie story. Can you think of any, Mason, off the top of your head?
Sometimes we just like go and shoot in interesting places. Like we've shot like one time we did like a 3 video shoot for
Mid-State Select.
Mid-State Select in this park. It was just like Easter.
It was
literally
Easter Day, yeah.
And
a lot of
it
work,
was just
wow.
a super nice day, and it turned out to be a great video, and we did.
We need to link some of these.
Yeah, for Patrick, we did on that.
Patrick Ian Bennett, yeah.
On the cliffs. That was a pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty
it was.
cool shoot,
We
too.
literally shot like on a mountain.
Yeah.
Like overseeing. It was like on this cliff, overseeing this like giant mountain, on like a beautiful fall day, and his song was called "A Warm Day in June." A lot of these videos we're talking about, you can find on the Band Junkies YouTube channel.
Yeah, so for the Micah one, it was super cool because he did play it multiple times, and he was new at playing and hadn't recorded anything, and reached out a couple days before, and we had no idea what to expect. But yeah, there was just something magical about that last take where I probably cry like once a year, but at the end of it, I was just, the dude just put his whole soul into that song.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And then the Warm Day with June with Patrick, that one's great. I actually just watched that the other day, and it was just, the location doesn't even look real because it's like looks like we're on a green screen because the background's so cool. And that was a fun
we were
one.
just on a cliff.
Yeah, those are our favorite videos. I think are the location videos. When we set up we came up with our setup, we have basically 2 cameras, one on a tripod, one on a gimbal, so it stabilizes it for moving around, and our audio setup is just a Zoom H6 recorder, and that setup is totally portable. You can take that anywhere, you can shoot anywhere, and it's the best for just going to a location and making it into something awesome.
Yeah.
But we should talk about, for anybody who's listening that might not know about the Band Junkies, we just kind of got into these stories, but we should have Luke explain really what the Band Junkies is and how it started and what it is now,
Yeah.
like how it evolved.
Just give us a little rundown.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see if I can summarize it. So, been playing music and booking shows and promoting things since middle school. We used to like have shows at the fire hall, and us like high school kids would just hand out flyers at the high school and figure out all the details of it. But then got serious about it. Been over 3 years ago now, and made the website, which that was one of the things. And then
That was around the time Matt and I started working with you as well.
yeah, I had it for a little while at that point, and which was basically just putting all the bands that are actively playing in State College on one page where it has a link that they chose. So reached out to basically every single band in town that played and talked to them and started communicating. And then there's a page for all the local recording studios and music teachers and
Basically anything a local musician would need in State College.
yeah, just networking and all-in-one website, thebandjunkies.com. And that's what, that was one of the things, but then it was going to photo, and I went to like all the band shows to get a photo, and I would take a video with my phone on a little gimbal. So just going around and, just treating it like a hobby at first, and then getting more serious with booking. The booking shows really took off and doing like more serious video. But a cool thing would be like how we got all the gear and the process of that, which would start out with Matt saying he wanted to get something, and then
You say, let's raw dog it.
Yeah. Raw Dog Financial got me every time.
and then I'd get it or put some towards it, and then
Yeah.
he'd work it off by
Doing videos.
project that we had coming in, and then needs another light, and then we got the one camera,
Yeah, well,
and then it didn't work on the gimbal, so we got a gimbal before the new camera. Yeah.
So yeah, it all started with basically we met in that parking garage. I said, hey, I do videos. The first video we did was with your friend Bill on the camera I just had at the time, which was this Nikon camera, mainly meant for photography. It could do video.
The D3300.
Yeah, but it looked all shaky, and it couldn't like autofocus like continuously. It could only like single point autofocus. So it was good for pictures, but we used it for that Bill video, and then eventually we're like, well, we want to have like the camera moving, so we invested in this gimbal. You basically bought that, and then I did the work to pay that off. But we had the gimbal, and then we used that camera on it that I already had, and it was another video with Bill actually.
That was for Bill's interview, and then it kept not auto-focusing. We're like,
Yeah.
well, we already got the gimbal, might as well get a camera that works for it.
And that's when you got the XT3, right?
So I got my first Fujifilm camera, which is a very huge part of the channel that this is going to be posted on. I do like Fujifilm reviews and stuff. My first Fuji camera was that, and Luke helped me get it. I did a lot of research. I was going to get like a Sony camera at first, so it's like double the price, but glad we went down that road.
It's a good brand to go with.
And then all of a sudden, Luke had helped me buy like a $700 gimbal and a $1,000 camera back to back, and it was time to work it off.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'd been searching for basically years for photographers and video people and stuff to make all these ideas with bands to happen, and you came along, and I just saw something in you that was just extremely motivated and like a sponge, learning and progressing exponentially, and you were like editing on some crappy computer with some old software, and the screen didn't even work, and it was like, all right, well, if this kid had the tools to do it, then he would really excel, and eventually now you got everything you need except for the next thing you'll need.
Yeah, and then you're there to help me. The most recent thing was the slider, and we need to use that for our next big project we had planned is there's Band Junkies merchandise for everything. There's lighters,
Yes. Cup.
Band Junkies cup, Band Junkies
Coaster.
coaster, Band Junkies table. There's a Band Junkies stool
Change
upstairs.
shirt, table.
Yeah, we're all
man.
wearing our Band Junkies shirts that have
guitar
our
picks,
yeah.
lighters,
yeah. There's even a pair of Band Junkies panties.
Yep.
panties.
That's a one-time deal though.
That's
Those
not even
aren't
like
for
half
sale.
the stuff. Bottle openers, business card holders, basically everything possible.
I forget what my point in bringing that up was.
Like 500 lighters.
Yes.
There was a reason I brought up us having merch.
Slider video.
Oh yeah, we want to do the Band Junkies poker chip video, which is you got Band Junkies brand a whole case of poker chips.
Yeah, Cynthia got those for Christmas.
So that's our next product video we're gonna do with the newly bought slider, which is just like a long track thing that the camera goes on. You can get really steady movement, and so we do all sorts of videos. That's like it's obviously exciting booking the shows and stuff, but I think you have a lot of fun going out and doing the videos, and we do stuff with Greenbridge Society, a medical marijuana company. We do stuff with musicians in the form of performance videos, legitimate music videos, like interviews.
You did an interview series for a while.
We're still doing that,
Yeah.
but just not as much because it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
I probably did interviews. Well, I was doing them just on my phone before with one shot. But in total, we probably interviewed like 15 musicians, maybe.
Yeah,
Yet again, something you can go find on the Band Junkies YouTube page.
exactly. Yeah, the more recent ones, now that we've got the equipment down, we have like 3 legit camera angles. We're shooting it in this space, really, is where we shoot the
Yeah.
interviews with this table. And the 3 different camera angles, and then the musicians play one of their original songs at the end. It's a really cool thing.
If you're into that, there's a lot of that kind of stuff on the Band Junkies YouTube page.
Yeah, if you're looking for any new musicians, indie musicians that you probably haven't heard of, then or maybe they're the next big thing. You can
Yeah.
find them on the Band Junkies.
Next big thing out of
There's-
State College, PA.
We've worked with a lot of really talented musicians. It's amazing how many.
They kind of like come out of the woodwork. Like at first glance, you're like, oh, you don't really think there's that many. Like, not that there aren't talented musicians, but just like that many people who are like wanting to do this kind of stuff. But then they just kind of come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, especially in our area. Well, our area constantly fluctuates with the people that are here because we live at State College.
Yeah,
where
in
the
a
Band
college town.
We're in a college town. There's Penn State. I'm a Penn State student, and now we're starting to get into working with college bands as well a little bit. You did stuff with Dogwood Co., right? Or at least you.
Yeah, and booked some shows with Mellow Honey, so they're up and coming. Yes, State College is interesting because it's a very small town, and when the students come, the population basically almost doubles. When
Yeah, they say the population on a football game day is more than the population of Philadelphia.
Yeah, because there's just Beaver Stadium.
Yeah.
It's huge. And
I think it's the third biggest stadium.
Penn
college
State
football
football is
stadium.
huge. Yeah.
It's a small town, but it's basically surrounded by farmland.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I think that's a huge thing. Mason and I started working with Penn State has the Lion and stuff. We did a couple
Mhm.
things with them, but those are all specifically college bands at Penn State.
Yeah, go check that out. Live on the Lion
Yeah, that YouTube channel.
on YouTube.
We
Yeah.
did a handful of those. So yeah, we've done all sorts of stuff, mainly music focused. The Greenbridge Society is the big one that is not music focused. They help people get their medical marijuana card in Pennsylvania.
And they help people like fight like unjust lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah, that was the most recent one we did. I don't know if that one's out yet, but yeah, just everything to do with
They're very passionate about what they do.
yeah, helping people with getting their card and understanding the laws with medical marijuana and using it correctly and understanding like the benefits of it. And
but also understanding like the cons as well and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
it's very interesting 'cause
Yeah.
we go there and we work. Gerald sits down. Gerald Knepp, one of the most sought after cannabis doctors in the industry, which is super cool to say that we work with him. He'll sit down and he'll have a script. We have a teleprompter and he'll read off his script and there'll be like pictures and visuals and stuff. And it's just very, very awesome, straightforward.
It's cool going to those when we film the Greenbridge videos because it'll be on a specific topic, like here's the different ways to ingest cannabis, whether you're smoking it, vaping it, eating it, putting it on a cracker, and then it'll be a different video will be about how it treats anxiety or sleeping or all this stuff. So we're sitting there filming it, and Matt's doing all the work and I'm just sitting in the background. But then like learning, it's something that I learn stuff while we're doing it, while we're getting paid to do it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. They'll break down what the chemicals are in it, like CBD, THC, CBG, and all these like sub terpenoids. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what a lot of these terpenes. Well, terpenoids are a thing,
No,
right?
I think they are a thing.
So it's not just like
cannabinoids. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
cannabinoids,
which
there
ones
you go.
30% THC and gets you the most messed up. It's like which one specifically helps this
yeah.
for sleeping or whatever it is. There's specific things that it is very legit.
Stuff like that has a lot to do with like the terpenes.
Yeah. Yeah, like a big thing they talk about is if someone's trying to use medical marijuana for anxiety, it's probably not a good idea to ingest something with a high THC content because it's going to make you more anxious.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good idea to get something with more CBD or a balance.
That's going to help
those.
you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all about like teaching the right way and using it for the right reasons rather than just trying to get the most messed up. And that's the most interesting thing, and that's really cool to see that someone's out there trying to do it right when there's
so many people trying to take advantage.
just trying to cash in on the industry.
Cash in and take advantage of the public.
And Ron Boyles is like the poster child for medical cannabis and what it can do. Is basically he was, if you see a before and after picture of him, and he was on a whole bunch of pharmaceutical medicine and just was not doing good at all, and then he dropped all of that and switched to cannabis, and it basically like saved his life, and he's a lot healthier and happier and everything now.
Yeah, he showed us he had a whole trash bag filled with pill bottles, and he said that's what he was taking, and those pills were causing more ailments that had him
Damn.
taking more medicine, and he was obese and just he said he was like laying on his deathbed. He said he actually had died.
He was in a coma, wasn't he? He died and he was in a coma.
He died and they revived him, and he stopped taking that and he started taking cannabis instead, and it saved his life, and he's so passionate about it now that
Yeah, and he's a super healthy
he does.
guy, super active. I mean,
yeah. A story about Ron I do want to say on here is I have my dog Buddy. He's like 13 years old. He's getting older now. He's a lot of different ailments. He's always had ear infections. He's starting to thin out, and just he's getting more problems as he gets older. So I asked Ron if he could recommend me some CBD products to help Buddy out, to help him feel better and feel healthier. And I asked him just to send me the link, but instead of sending me the link, Ron asked me for my address, and he sent it to me. And the receipt, it was like over $100 worth of stuff.
damn.
I was like, wow. I can't. I really appreciate Ron. He's a great guy.
He's a really generous guy.
Yeah, and I'm actually for my one film class we're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna do a documentary for him
about that
About
life
him,
story.
yeah.
We just kind of talked about, and about Greenbird Society and what they're all about. That'd be super interesting. But yeah, do we have anything else on the Band Junkies?
Oh yeah, let's talk more about the Band Junkies.
Looks like let's make it the entire thing.
I don't know. Any other
so
specific-
basically, like a basic idea of what we're doing now is a venue, bar, business, whatever would reach out and have a date and a budget and what they're looking for, and then I'll try to pick the right band to play it that is in their budget and figure out sound and lights, write up a invoice, and negotiate on both parties for money so they're both happy. Make a flyer. So we have a whole team. Elisa is graphic designer. She'll make a flyer. Cynthia will write up the invoice. We got video and sound. I guess Elliot shares a post once in a while
If
as
you
far
pay
as
him a
marketing.
dollar.
For a dollar.
marketing manager.
Yeah, marketing.
But then make a flyer, promote it on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, YouTube, everything.
Just try to get these musicians out there.
Definitely.
And, then go to the show if I can go, and, even take simple phone photos to post in the moment or a video. And
If not, like, actual professional photos, like, sometimes Matt will go to some of those shows. And
yeah, we'll do all sorts of... It really just depends. There's different tiers. Like, if somebody they just want like a show or whatever. Sometimes if they don't have like a good video of them performing, Luke will be like, well, maybe we could help you out getting a professional video to kind of shop around for venues, and it helps people get a show. And we do like different tiers of that, whether it's just like a simple 2-shot video where you get the gimbal involved, or we go to a location and we do professional pictures, we do the phone pictures, and there's just pretty much anything for a musician of any level. We have something that we can try to like point them in the right direction or help them out somehow.
Yeah, and it's a passion thing. Like there's an open mic on last Sunday, and it was, it's not a paying gig or anything, but helped make a flyer to promote it because I thought the open mic idea was cool. And then I took photos of like everyone that played and just sent it to them, and like everyone that I sent the photos to, like all of a sudden they all had a new profile picture on Facebook. So people are just appreciative when they get sent a photo of them performing that's like a halfway decent photo from my iPhone 13 and not like a shaky bad one from a flip phone that their drunk friend took. So people
Exactly.
Yeah.
appreciate a good photo of them playing.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done all sorts of, like I said, just like we've done pictures. We have like a photo shoot we're talking about doing with a band. They just want like a straight up photo shoot, like the interviews, the videos. You even did that thing with Chris Bell recently, that birthday gram or whatever.
Yeah, the rock
that was
star
kinda cool.
singing telegrams. Some dude that worked in from LA, I guess he has a business that gets like rock stars to come sing happy birthday wherever. So he reached out, I think it was literally the day before something fell through, and you basically just go there, and I picked up a dozen roses and a balloon, and then we showed up there and filmed Chris Bell singing "Happy Birthday" at BRGR downtown, and it was a cool
There you go.
experience.
Is that what it's called? Is it called BRGR or is it burger? It's a burger.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what it's
I've
called.
actually never ate there.
It's pretty good. They're like the only place in town that has poutine.
Oh.
We left after the video because it was awkward.
Yeah, I am. Didn't he also play like another song?
Yeah, he played Happy Birthday and then played another song.
No, it was great and it was like perfect. But after like we played, and then we were just like standing there. We're like, yeah, we're gonna head out. We're gonna.
We're like, we've done what we've come to do. Yeah. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about was some job stories. You've had you've had a rich life. You've had a lot of cool stories and stuff. You've lived in Florida at one point. Do you have any interesting jobs or stories from different jobs that you had? I actually have one that I want to tell, but I'll if you can think of one off the top of your head, I'll have you go first. I forgot to tell one on the first episode. We talked about this.
Job stories.
Like anything crazy happened at a job you had, or just like an interesting job you had. Anything of note?
Tell yours first. Maybe it'll get them going.
Yeah. I'll give you some. I'll buy you
Maybe
some
it'll
time.
get you going.
So the one I forgot to tell. This is when I worked at the grocery store. I worked at Wise, and one of our cashiers, Harold. So I just won't mention his last name.
Okay.
Harold. He was a big guy, and I was the monitor, so I was technically one step up above the cashier, even though it was a lot more responsibility for not that much more money.
Yeah.
And I had a pager thing, and the cashiers could like hit on their cash register, hit a button, it would like page me to come help them out if they just needed helps with something like a coupon or something. And I got a page from Harold, and I looked up, and he was standing at his register, and he's looking at me. He's just like waving his hands frantically, and his face was all red. And so I was like, okay, like what's going on? So I like walk up to him, and his face is getting like more red, and he's like gripping at his neck, and all of a sudden
is he choking?
He just like collapses, and he like falls over, and he's like frothing at the mouth, and I'm like, oh my god, is this dude gonna like die in my arms? Like I like held up his head, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do. And eventually like the paramedics came and stuff, and it turned out what had happened was a lady had come through. She was wearing this really strong perfume that he had an allergic reaction to.
Oh god.
And his throat was closing. And yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy.
I was the first person there. I was like holding his head up. He never even like thanked me or said anything about it. I mean, not that I should like expect that, but it's like he didn't even mention it once.
That's amazing.
It's a pretty interesting story. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to tell that in the first one.
That's a good one.
Could you think of anything, Luke?
I guess when I was landscaping in Florida, working for my uncle in Middleburg,
Try and get just a little closer.
outside of Orange Park, outside of Jacksonville, northeastern Florida. That's where Bud came from, if y'all know Bud. He's one of my redneck characters that I use. But 2 animal stories. I was cutting a bush with a bushwhacker. And like I was going through, and then I was there, and then there was just like a snake like right there, and I just like freaked me out, just swiped real quick and cut the snake's head off with the thing.
There you go.
And I guess it was just like a harmless like garden black snake or something, but yeah, and
Took
then,
no chances.
I think the lady said it was like her pet and it was okay, but I was like, it was up in my face, so I cut its head off. And then we'd
It was her pet. Why was it in the bush?
Well, I think she was just cool with it being there. And then
Well, you were.
Fair enough.
we would mow grass in the like in these gated communities of like rich retired folks, and there was like a big lake in the center of it, and I would weed whack the section there, and there's this thing like floating, and you think it's a log or something. I looked up, and then it was like a gator.
Just a
like,
gator.
just a couple feet away, and it freaked me out, and I
Oh
ran
my
away,
God.
and it was probably only like 5 feet long. It
Yeah, but those
wasn't
things
big,
are
but-
fast though.
Still could probably death roll you if it wanted.
But that's one story from landscaping.
Hell of a
I mean,
landscaping job, I guess.
as far as the selling cars, I mean, there's so many stories, but you basically just need to be able to talk to anyone of any kind of person, or all of a sudden you're in front of a family of 5 and they have no idea what they're looking for. Or there's a lot of stories.
What about whenever the one guy ran into the customer's car with the golf cart?
That one guy who we're not going to mention by name.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know his name.
Yeah, no, neither do we. Yeah, we definitely didn't work with him.
Well, there's a story. All right, so it was a red Ford Raptor, and this was probably like 5 years ago. I've been there for 9 years, and it's like the only time we ever had a car stolen. And some dude, I don't know if he was like working construction in town or something, just from out of town, was on like meth and stole a red Ford Raptor from our lot because we put the keys on the car. And which is funny because if you're gonna steal a car, you might as well steal like a Toyota Camry or something
nice.
that like doesn't stick out. So we
Yeah.
got a phone call that
Yeah.
this red Raptor was going like the opposite way down the one-way College Ave. So the cops came, and I guess they caught him at like the gas station down the way, and he like filled it up with gas, and like it wasn't damaged. So we
He
were
was
just
gonna bring
like,
it back.
we're just
he was
like,
just-
yeah, I guess it's cool. Like he took it for a test drive, filled it up with gas, and didn't
So, like-
damage it. So we didn't even.
So like, you want to buy it?
No, that was his application.
He probably
what do you,
didn't have
what do you
credit.
think?
He was actually applying to the dealership. He was taking the initiative and filling up the car. He said, "Look what I can do.
Yeah.
If you hire me,
Nah, he
I
was just on meth.
yeah." Yeah. Why are all the funniest moments on this podcast just it smells like crack in here? Nah, he was just on meth.
And then I worked at the Cove making pizza at the Cove, and the funny thing was the manager who was cool and stuff. He was just a little bit older than me, but he'd always yell at us for smoking in the where the cookies were. There's like these frozen cookies room. He'd be like, you guys need to stop smoking in there, and we'd just be like, shut up, Brad. It was just like, he'd be like, okay. I hope Brad's not watching.
Poor Brad.
Poor Brad.
You didn't listen to him at all.
He probably won't watch this. So.
All right, we're back. We took a short break, and
Short break.
we wanted to come back and talk a little bit about our biggest project recently, which was Queen and the Beast.
Original song by this guy right here.
This guy right here. He executive produced and starred.
Yes.
Wrong side. Yeah, there you go. Right there. You see that?
Executive producer.
Yep, self-titled executive producer. But yeah, I think there's been a lot of cool different projects we've done, growing the gear, growing the team, and that like the Mid-State Select interview we did, that was really cool to all work together on that. Dylan Holtzheimer helped on that and got a behind-the-scenes video. Then the one after that, just of the ones that I've done, the Hallelujah that I did at the church I grew up in.
Just a little bit. I'm sorry.
Was putting everything together in the ultimate thing. That was cool. But Queen of the Beast was getting a group, like a super group of local musicians. So it was a song I wrote, and then we had Rich Stever on drums, and Nick Stallman and James Arroway from Airmen Audio, who play with Donnie Burns at Third Degree, were on bass and lead guitar, and Joe Tabasco on keys. So it was 2 months of recording the audio, and then we all went, us three, with the band to Pine Grove Hall and filmed it. And it's ultimate.
It's like the magnum opus of what
Yeah.
we've done thus far.
Yeah, that one, if we should try to link as much as what we talked about as
Oh,
possible.
absolutely,
But this one
absolutely.
absolutely needs to be linked down
I'll make a
below.
list when I'm editing it.
For anyone who is watching this, and that sounds interesting. We went to Pine Grove Hall.
They have an
And-
amazing light system there too.
Yeah.
If you watch the Queen and the Beast video, you'll see a lot of really like
Crazy lighting.
unique and interesting lighting. Shout out to what was the guy's name?
Steve Christensen.
Steve Christensen.
Yeah.
Awesome lighting guy. He did us pretty good that day.
And instead of focusing on recording the audio live like we've done with a lot of things, it's just all recorded. It's one song. We played it 4 times with 4 different tripod angles, 4 different
Yeah.
gimbal shots that they both did focusing. One was on the vocals, one was on lead guitar, one was on keys.
We got
And then-
basically everything we would have needed.
Yeah, it was a different approach. Like we usually, when we're shooting a performance video versus a music video. Performance videos, we're taking the Zoom H6 and we're recording the audio of them playing it right then and there, and that's the video. We can only really have however many shots because we only have so many cameras to record at once.
Yeah.
But this is like we said, like Luke had pre-recorded this audio and they'd mixed and mastered it with Nick Stallman and James Airway.
Yeah, from
Airman Audio,
yeah. We mentioned Airman Audio a couple times. They're kind of like a new studio in State College, locally, just opened up. They do some great work.
And that was actually one of their first projects.
It was like their first, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
Nick's first real
they've been
one with
doing
Airman.
some things, and we went. So that was like the ultimate audio with the ultimate video, and then sitting down and getting the best shot for every, couple seconds, and just looking at 8 different shots to get the best shot for that moment.
Yeah.
Audio's already there in an awesome place with awesome lights, with everything we know how to do, and that's probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, it was super awesome to do.
Just got to top it next time somehow. Narrative video.
I guess that is our logical next step, is like
Yeah.
a really fleshed out multiple location narrative video.
Yeah. It's interesting what you can do whenever you have the audio already recorded to going into it, because then you can worry about getting a lot more shots. You're a lot more limited, and we didn't even really thought of or realize that when you're recording the audio then and there, because you can't take another take and put a video from another take on that, because it's not going to match up perfectly.
Yeah,
they're going to be slightly off, and they're going to play at a slightly different speed if they're doing it live. So yeah, we can. I think that is the logical next step, is for us to try to storyboard something and do it legit. And then after that, I think another next step is for one of us to learn After Effects and figure out different visual
I know
effects
a
like
little
that.
After Effects. I know you want me to do it, bro. After Effects is
What?
hard.
You know a little After Effects? What do you know?
He
Not
watched Star
much.
Wars.
I watched Star Wars. I know
Yeah.
I can make a miniature. No, I did the basic. I did basic shit on After Effects, just going through the training camp thing that they have in app.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it obviously wasn't a lot, but it's
yeah.
very, very little bit. I need to start doing more After Effects though.
Yeah, I definitely need to learn this stuff. But speaking of Star Wars,
Yeah.
unless we wanted to talk a little bit more about Queen and the Beast, I think we had mentioned.
Oh yeah, just and marketing in general. Of we went for this project. We put a date on it, or a time frame of when we wanted to do it, even though doesn't really matter when it got done. But everyone took it very seriously and put all their effort into it. And then marketing it with behind the scenes thing. We made a teaser trailer for the music video coming out, which
It's just
is
it
just
was
over
just
the
a little
top
slideshow.
yeah, just a
It was pretty cool,
slideshow.
though.
Yeah, because we had behind the scenes pictures.
Yeah, there were a lot of good pictures that came out of
Yeah.
that shoot as well, just because of the amazing lights that Pine Grove Hall had.
Yeah, when we shot that, we did like we did over the course of 4 or 6 takes.
But
and
it's like Matt would do the gimbal, and then I would take some pictures, and then we'd switch, and I would do a gimbal run, and then he would do a picture run.
yeah, and we'd have a tripod shot also set up on
Yeah.
everything. So then you have such a variety to
It ended
to
up
look
being
through.
12 different shots.
Yeah,
and working with awesome musicians, and then putting it out there in a way that's just boom, it's everywhere, and boosted the post. But that was leading to also going to put it out and on streaming services, and I haven't done that. You guys have done some of that before, but just to go through that process of using DistroKid or
It's not-
TuneCore or
it's not
whatever
that hard.
to put your music out, and then
Speaking
helping
of,
other people do
sorry.
that.
Speaking of putting other music out, you have been talking about, along with Queen and the Beast, you want to do that as a single, but you also want to release an EP with Queen and the Beast on it as well, right?
Yeah, there's 3-4 other songs I did at Robin Sound that I'd like to put out there.
another local studio.
Another local studio, Jim Robinson. That was when Augie was in town. And,
Speak up just a little bit.
yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we worked a lot with Robin Sound actually. So
Yeah,
so
we've done quite a bit of stuff with Robin Sound
those
over the
other-
past couple years.
the other 3 songs for the EP were all Robin Sound, right?
Yep, those are all, and there was special guests on it, like Andre Harner played on Good Boy, and Taylor Norberg played on the metal song Shook Spark, and we got strings. These 2 girls played strings on Echo.
All on the Band Junkies YouTube channel.
Yep.
All in there.
Yeah, I'm
tell
trying to
you
get
what,
Matt's subscribers here. He's
if-
got more than me.
If anybody actually goes to the Band Junkies YouTube channel from this, they're in for a treat.
Yeah, because I made all the videos.
Yeah, 'cause we made all the videos.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was so loud.
Precisely.
I just clipped the shit out of the audio.
And there's the Luke Cimbala Great Sales Make You Holla car commercial
Oh,
jingle.
yeah.
That was your previous magnum opus.
That's my highest grossing one.
My sales will make you holler.
Yeah, we should have had you start off the podcast playing that.
It's not too late.
It's not too
Throw
late.
the riff in.
That'll be the intro this time.
Hi, the name is Luke Cimbala.
My sales make you holla.
Anyway,
Fun fact: Luke links that video at the bottom of every single email he sends from
Yeah,
his
really?
car dealership
that's amazing.
emails.
I did not know that.
So you end up having thousands of people in your name on the CRM, which is just like a database. It shows like who bought a car, and every email that gets sent out, lots of them are automatic. That it says for a hilarious time, click on the link below or something. Then people always let me know when they click on it, and
They're
it's
like,
always
"Great video."
good stuff.
That's
it's-
awesome.
That'd be awesome if they're like. No, it wouldn't be awesome. It'd be hilarious if they're like, I watched your video and I actually want to return my car and buy it from another salesman.
Yeah.
Frankly, it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Purchase.
Yeah. Oh man.
But anyway, we've been told that you are a bit of a Star Wars fan
Oh yeah.
by you.
Well, I've probably watched Return of the Jedi almost 100 times, just because we didn't have many. It was all VHS back then, back in the day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we had the 3 set. I remember like the first time my dad like let me watch Empire Strikes Back, and I was just like amazed. But I watched Return of the Jedi just over and over again.
All
Yeah.
great movies.
When I was a kid, I had the VHS trilogy with the first episodes 4, 5, and 6, and I would just skip through it to watch the lightsaber battles. That's the only thing I cared about. I didn't care about any of the world building or the lore. I was
Bro,
just
that's
like
the best part.
shiny swords
Dude,
clash.
I remember pausing like the part where Darth Vader's getting electrocuted by the Emperor.
And you can like see his skeleton.
And you can see him. We would just like pause, and we paused the part where he got his hand cut off, and I paused the part of Princess Leia.
Pause that one a couple times.
No, it's just quality everything. It had never been, and just imagine like people going to the theater in that time and never seeing anything like
Yeah,
that.
never having
to live
something-
that moment is like huge. And as a kid, I had never seen anything like that, so it was just like that for me too.
Yeah.
My- Sorry.
So as somebody who like got into Star Wars with the original trilogy, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts whenever the new trilogy came out? The not the newest one, but the prequel trilogy. Like, what did you think of all the CGI and changes they made?
Like I remember I've seen I think every single one in theater that came out, starting with Phantom Menace. And I mean, I just enjoy them all, and everyone would like talk crap about them, and I'm just like, yeah, they're all enjoyable, but you know.
At the end of the day, it's just a movie.
But the best thing I've seen that they've redone of anything is just the end, where it's the scene right before the start of Episode 4.
Oh, Rogue One.
And it's the first time you ever see like Darth Vader like fighting in a way that we can do now through CGI and stuff.
Mhm.
And it was just like, this is just absolutely insane. It's like everything you wanted to see
It's gonna
Darth
be-
Vader do
no,
in
absolutely.
that moment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so awesome.
I haven't seen that. That sounds awesome.
We'll have to watch Rogue One. It's gonna
Yeah.
be awesome whenever.
You haven't seen that?
Because
I
Hayden
haven't seen it.
Christensen. Hayden Christensen is coming back to play Darth Vader alongside Ewan McGregor.
Wait, they're doing another one with Darth Vader?
Well, he's coming back to play Darth Vader
Oh.
in the Obi-Wan series.
Oh, they're kind of. I guess Disney owns it now. I was gonna say they're kind of doing what they did with Marvel, where they just keep making a million spin-offs.
I wonder if he's gonna kill more sand people.
Oh.
No,
And the younglings.
In the comics, he never killed them. He just beat them up real bad.
Oh, in the video, he killed them all.
Oh, in the trailer?
No, like Hayden Christensen when he was
Oh,
Anakin,
you mean?
and he killed all
Anakin?
the sand
oh
people.
no, he's definitely probably gonna.
it's a racist thing.
Yoinks.
Dude, they're fake race. What are you offended by?
Nothing.
yes, yes, Anakin is huge racist against sand people.
That's the title.
Anakin Skywalker is a racist?
Against sand people.
He's like Ludwig.
He's like Ludwig.
Ludwig's
How
not
how is
racist.
Anakin like Ludwig?
Because Ludwig's also racist.
Ludwig himself is not racist, but people
The
think
concept of Ludwig, I think, is what people think is racist.
but it's not though, because it's Luke has German ancestry, and that's the joke. Is he's like an over the top German
That's
guy.
so funny.
That's Ludwig.
That's so funny.
That's the character of Ludwig. Everybody's gonna be so confused when you just mention Ludwig.
Well, no,
You got to go to the
Yeah,
Band
check out
Junkies
whole
YouTube
thing out
channel.
about racism.
I think it's
We don't want to get canceled.
To a certain point, that bit's funny, but I'll cut out.
We have to cut out-
a little bit at the end.
Yeah, a little bit at the end, but it is funny whenever it's like he's racist against sand people because that's like they don't exist. It's not okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, so we got another 15 minutes we can do.
Oh.
Let's try to think of something. I should have see. This is why we need to write down talking points because this always happens.
Huh.
No, dude, we're good.
Well, what's the future? You know, what's going on in the world?
Aliens.
Dude, we're
Elon
not talking
Musk.
about aliens again.
But we'll talk about
Not this
aliens,
episode.
Elon Musk, and Spider-Man for 15 minutes.
Last episode, Mason. Well, at the end, Mason went off about aliens for a long time, which was cool. It was a
like
good conversation.
it was not a long time. It was like 10 minutes.
Okay, we had 10 minutes on aliens.
We're watching ancient aliens. I love how they still have that dude with the crazy poofed out
Yeah.
hair.
Well, what are they astronaut theorists? That's what they call them.
But
right?
every single episode, and especially like I was watching that when it first came out, and it's just like, well, if you believe this, and if this is true, then could this be? And then this other thing, and if that's all true, then it could be this. It's just like there's so many.
Yeah,
Like
I saw a video on
there's
YouTube.
a pyramid there and there. Does that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's this sign there. Okay, it could. Now I believe that. Okay, well, if that's that, then this other thing that's more unbelievable could be true.
I saw
Aliens.
this video on YouTube. It was basically like, so it's not just Ancient Aliens is not just like single like one-off episodes. It all connects. I watched this video. It was like the comprehensive lore of Ancient Aliens, and it was like 45 minutes long.
that sounds like a crazy person.
It was horrific.
yeah. And you watched the whole thing.
I did.
bet.
It was really funny. It was really good. I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, we want to talk about conspiracy theories next.
Oh yeah,
episode,
we're gonna do an episode where Matt and I like both pick like we go and do a little bit of research and find our like 5 favorite little conspiracy theories, and then
Yeah. Well, we can
discuss.
still do that, but do you have a conspiracy theory that you favor?
yeah.
Well,
What do you think about the magic bullet
what's the magic bullet?
from the JFK assassination?
Yeah, that one's that conspiracy series thing's too cliche.
Too cliche. So you're into the niche conspiracy theories.
What's a good one, Luke? Let us into your mind.
Well, just to contradict a
Contradict?
yeah. So there's like so the moon landing. If someone says that someone faked the moon landing, like, you know, I guess they could have done that. But then you have to think about, what does that mean? That means like the thousands and thousands of people that worked on that project.
Like they had to exist.
They
like,
had
would've
to have
told
like
someone.
known, and like the
Exactly.
family of the astronauts, like everything. There would have to be 100,000 people that, since when was that? 62.
I
2,
think.
1, whatever,
Whatever.
I don't
60?
know.
No, it wasn't. It was later.
have kept that secret for 50 years.
Maybe they would have
and,
killed him.
and it's impossible.
That killed 100,000 people
They-
that knew. I had a
Bro, the CIA introduced crack.
my dad had a friend. His nickname was Critter Getter. He was big into trapping.
Critter
He sold traps and trapping accessories. And I had a summer.
like Hank Hill. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
but except
Okay.
it was trapping. Yeah, but I had like a summer job with him when I was 12. I have a story about
Did he
that.
try
I
to-
remember
did he
you-
try to
I think
trap
I remember
you?
you having that job.
What?
Did he try to trap you?
Yeah, he caught me in a bear trap one day. No, but
Bro,
that
He's like, you asked what I did for a living. You're like, ow, my fucking leg.
he's like, I catch people. But he for most of my job was like just running these boards through like a sander and stuff. But anyway, I remember him talking about the moon landing being fake. He adamantly, legitimately believed the moon landing is fake.
you heard it here first. Critter Getter is a moon landing denier.
And his reasoning,
He's watching this. He definitely is.
dude, he's pissed.
Send it to him, bro. I bet you could get his phone number from your dad.
Yeah, probably could. We haven't talked to him in many years.
Hey, Critter Getter.
Not since he caught me in that bear trap. We haven't talked to him.
Oh, I do have a story after that.
It's a really quick. Yeah, his reasoning for thinking the moon landing was fake was that the flag didn't wave. And first of all, there was like a metal thing in the flag to hold it outright. And second
Yep.
of all, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere, so there
Yep.
can't be wind.
Are you sure it wasn't
Maybe
the
he's
other
been
way
to the
around?
moon.
Like the flag was moving a little bit. And
No,
that's
he was
why?
like- he was
because
like-
that's like a common thing people say to deny the moon landing. They're like, like the flag was moving, like there was like air in the studio that they recorded it in or whatever.
There was clearly like a wire just holding
Yeah,
it out.
exactly.
Yeah. And it was like maybe the pole moved, so the whole thing. But anyway,
Who's to say? Who's
Yeah.
to say?
but he was like he was like there's no wind. So clearly it's fake. It's like, well, do you know anything about like the
Well,
moon?
maybe he's been to the moon.
Yeah.
Bro, Critter Getter
Critter Getter's been to the moon.
was actually Neil Armstrong in disguise.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of Roadkill. And here's a story. This happened at work. It's not really a work story, but so there's this dude that always came in the service department, and he was this real weird dude. And anytime, and he, didn't smell that good. And then
Speak up a little bit.
He's like, it did smell
Yeah.
good.
he said it was beef. It was jerky, and he had jerky in a bag, and I love beef jerky. And then, like he gave me it, and he gave me like a bag, and it was like weird and thin, and like looked weird. And I was like, whatever. I've never like eaten beef jerky that I didn't really like, so I ate it. And while I'm eating it, he's like telling me about how it was like a raccoon roadkill or something.
And you're like,
It was like
Okay.
roadkill. Maybe it wasn't a raccoon, but it was definitely like roadkill.
something.
And then I just like felt real sick to my stomach, and like
Instantly.
and just like my brain just like threw it up.
Saying you got rabies?
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why Luke is rabid today. He gave him rabies.
Yikes.
Dang.
That's
That's a
that's
crazy
a
work
good
story.
one. That's a good one.
I saved a guy's life at work, and
It's a life story.
one of your customers
Bro,
gave you
Wise
roadkill.
takes life and giveth life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, mostly takes. The
Mostly takes.
the old guy died at Wise. That was the story from the
Yeah.
first episode, and this guy almost died. The story from this episode.
Yeah, I almost died from the roadkill.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost, but he's still here with us today. That would be a boring podcast if he was dead. Anyway,
We're sitting about 55.
yeah,
Pretty good, honestly.
55. Oh, yeah. Okay, we can wrap it up. Anything else you want to say, Luke?
Follow the band
does
junkies
that
on
sound?
YouTube. It's the fan. It's the fan and the
Let's
and,
see,
our,
this-
and our computers.
It's like coming from over there. Anyway.
Anyway,
Okay. That was a good podcast, guys.
yeah,
That was a
it
good conversation.
It was a good one.
We talked about a lot of interesting stuff. Do you have any final notes to say, Luke? I think we got all the band junkies talk out of your system at the beginning.
Yeah, I just want to tell you about the band junkies a little bit more.
We'll have some links in the down below.
Hopefully,
definitely.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of links down below.
I've shouted out the Band Junkies plenty of times on my channel, but
Oh, I have a Jeopardy question.
a Jeopardy question.
Oh, here we go.
You have a Jeopardy question.
Here's a Jeopardy question.
Oh.
It's the 4-letter abbreviation for the pleasant tingling sensation that starts on the scalp in response to certain stimuli.
I have no clue.
Womp.
ASMR.
ASMR. Did you know it?
I just said womp.
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 That was on Jeopardy yesterday.
Was it? And you wrote it down.
Oh, we didn't do you read the comments on your videos and me roast
Okay,
them.
let's do one
There
or
we
two.
go. I'm in the mood.
Okay, so
I'm in the mood to roast some comments. I don't mean any of this stuff I say, but I'm pretty good at roasting the
this
comments.
is a funny joke. Okay, so for my ASMR channel that Luke just made that Jeopardy joke about, I get comments obviously all the time, and a lot of them are overwhelmingly positive. It's a great community. It's super nice, but sometimes we don't mean anything by this. Trust me, I appreciate your comments, but as a joke, I'll read out these really nice comments out loud, and Luke will jokingly be really mean in response.
That's what we do some late nights. It's really
At the Band Junkies studio.
if you're a fan, you
I'm
should...
gonna lose all my I'm gonna lose all my subscribers for this. This one says underrated ASMR artist. It frustrates me. Please continue the hard work.
You don't work hard, and I hate you.
That was pretty on the nose. Love your energy in this.
You have zero energy, and I also don't like you.
Just the opposite. Here's one. This is Patty ASMR. He has 70,000 subscribers. He said, "Bro, the outfit is sick. I wish I had style like that."
How many subscribers does he have?
70,000.
Let me know when you hit 100K.
Got him. No, that's so mean.
Oh, that's a clip right there.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh my god.
I don't mean any of this or anyone,
No. All right, you want to do one more?
All right.
Oh my god.
This one's a real simple one, so you have to be creative. Oh my god, this is so satisfying.
You have never satisfied anyone in your life.
No.
Oh my fucking god.
I think Luke got him.
And on that note, thank you all for listening to the Better Broadcast Podcast. This time with our special guest, Mr. Band Junkie himself, Luke Cimbala.
Luke Cimbala.
Thanks for happening.
Thanks for happening.
Thanks, guys.
You are now leaving the Better Broadcast Podcast.
Goodbye.
Evil Genius Mode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, or comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned for the next installment of BBP.